On top of Episcopal, we are at halftime. Bob Lampinen and Jeremy Treatman with you. And Jeremy, no question about it, Oak Hill loaded with talent top to bottom. Episcopal, I thought, came out here and battled well to keep things close right here. They're in pretty decent shape going into the second half.
Well, that's because Wayne Ellington stepped up in the second quarter. Gerald Henderson was strong from the start. Ellington came on like gangbusters in the second quarter, finished with 12.
Right.
Henderson finishing with 12. When your big stars can come to play, you can stay with an Oak Hill team.
Well, no question about it. But let's take a look at our leading scorers in that first half. First for Oak Hill Academy, Michael Beasley.
Michael Beasley does everything inside. He's just a beast, but he also has a nice outside touch. This is why he's the #1 ranked power forward in the junior class. Take a look at these moves. He gets the ball at the high post, takes it to the rack, flushes it home. He's really unstoppable. He's had some super moves inside. There's nothing they can do. Here's the backdoor play to Wayne Ellington as he got the dunk to open the game. Here's Henderson throwing it in with the left hand. When he gets positioned on Nolan Smith, he's going to try to take it into the rack area.
So the guys who have to lead, Episcopal did just that. A look at first half stats. Beasley with 16, Lawson with 12, and on the bench with 3 fouls. Ellington, Henderson, and Ivory leading the way for Episcopal.
I think Mike Yoakum becomes a factor. Mike Yoakum, when he gets these rebounds, he's got to get in a rebound for Episcopal, and he hands it off to his guards. You got to make sure Wayne or Gerald get the ball. No knock to Ivory or the other guards, but Wayne and Gerald have to step up to keep this thing going and competitive.
And Yoakum has to be careful he doesn't pick up his 3rd foul quickly.
Correct, that's big too.
So that's the story at the half. We hope you're enjoying it. This has been a great one. Oak Hill Academy on top of Episcopal. 37-31 the score. We're coming back with more after this.
Played Canton McKinley, a top 10 team in the country. They played without Lawson, who was suspended for 5 games early in the season. They only won that game 51-50, and they played another game. They only won by 7 points without Lawson as well.
Well, Lawson is out there now. He has the basketball to start the second half. And here we go. Second quarter was tied 15-15 in terms of score, so Episcopal played him even in that second quarter. 22-16 was the edge in the first quarter for Oak Hill. Lawson from three-point land off the mark, and Henderson comes down with the rebound. Henderson gliding, under control, little stutter, change of pace. He made that look easy.
Boy, that was pretty by Gerald Henderson.
Wow.
He's so fluid, he's so smooth. Beasley draws the double team in the zone.
Little fall away, they'll let him take that one as he falls away with the left hand.
Two Episcopal players collide, ball goes out of bounds, ball back to Oak Hill. Let's take a look at Henderson.
Oh, wow.
So smooth going to the basket. He's really developed that left hand over the years, too. He just kisses it off the glass with the left hand, protects with the right.
37-33 the count. And that's a 2-pointer. So Michael Beasley steps out and hits the 17-footer.
Got to be frustrating
Wow.
for Episcopal or any team that plays Oak Hill this year. You got the best power forward in the country, and he can hit 15-footers, 20-footers. He can hit from anywhere.
You see him out there away from the rim. You think, oh, good, let him go. And he steps up and strokes it nice and smoothly.
Well, that's the whole thing against the zone. Episcopal will bait him into taking the shots, but that actually could turn into a bad thing when he starts making them.
Ellington almost fumbled it, got it back. Now it's Henderson. Quick pull-up. And Yoakum couldn't get the putback. Ellington tried to get the tip, wouldn't go. They go the other way. Oh, man. And
did that go in?
that went in.
Wow, Nolan Smith stuffs it home over Henderson. Yoakum made a big mistake right there. He had his head down as he was running down court. If he had his arm up, he could have deflected that pass.
And Coach Smith screaming for a foul on the dunk, but didn't get it.
Yoakum, number 44, headed to Albany next year on a Division II scholarship. Ivory with the penetration.
And that one tossed away. May have gotten away with the travel first. Watch the dunk.
Let's take a look. How did Nolan Smith get that through? Yes, he did. Whew. Wow, that was quick. That was something else.
The feed inside. Beasley missed the first. Boy, he's like he's on a pogo stick. Great work by Oak Hill Academy. It just falls off. Relentless on the offensive glass.
And Wright's going to go to the line for a couple as they pound those offensive boards again. I think they called Ellington this time.
Yep, first foul on Ellington.
Again, Episcopal's had opportunities to finish down on the offensive end. They've had opportunities to wrap up rebounds on the defensive end. You just don't get many chances against Oak Hill. You get within 6. You just don't want them to get it back up to 8, 10, 11, 12. Just so hard to fight back.
Wright hit the first. Front end on the second. Oh, and how about that move? Stepping inside was Jeff Allen. Quick move to pick up the loose ball, and that one hurts. 44-33 on the missed free throw.
Well, Episcopal's only got 3 guys out there with size, so they all have to work extra hard to get rebounds.
taken away from Ellington, and then a travel.
Hey, Lewis over here on the left now. We got Lewis Williams, Mike Mercer, and the guys. Lewis, talk about what happened in the second quarter. I thought when you and Mike Mercer started helping out with defensive rebounding, then you guys got out on the break, got your game going. It changed the whole game. What did you think?
First off, those guys, they have a lot of big guys and, very physical on the inside and as well on the outside. Their guards are physical. We just wanted to come out, play them hard, and just compete hard, and then luckily it came out our way.
Mike, quickly, I want to ask you about what it's like beating Oak Hill. I know you're very happy. You had a great second half. A lot of dunks, too.
Yeah, it feels great. First half came out kind of slow. Tried to come in, go to the basket second half more, and we knew we were outmatched in size, but no one can beat us in heart. We have the biggest heart that I've ever seen in the nation.
Well, it looked like, in at halftime, we said that, Lewis Williams, obviously he's got his 16 points and he's right on his game average. He needs to, do all the other things that Lewis knows how to do to get everybody else involved. At that point, Mike only had 4 points at halftime, really turned it on in the second half. And I think, from Mike's standpoint, Lewis' standpoint, I don't want to forget about Delano either. He had a big fourth quarter, and Avery Jukes and all those guys. It's so oftentimes we talk about Lewis, we talk about Mike, but I thought it was a total team effort in the second half.
Well, we wouldn't have won with just Lewis having a great game or Lewis and Mike having a great game. We talked about it last night at our meeting that this is the kind of game you have to have everybody show up to win. I mean, they were going to come out, and they've got a lot of good bodies and good players, obviously, and Lewis and Mike aren't going to win it by themselves in this kind of game. We might win a region game that way, but we're not going to win a game where we've got 2 guys against 5 out there, and these other guys showed up. Greg showed up big. Delano was big time in the fourth quarter, and Avery was big time on the boards the entire game with Brandon coming off the bench.
Mike, I joked at the end of the ball game that you could almost hear all the Bulldog fans barking in Athens there because you put on a little highlight show there in the second half.
Yeah, I just wanted to give them a little taste of what they're going to see next year.
Lewis, how about as far as beating Oak Hill? We talked about this last week and, about the number 1 ranked player in the country against the number 1 ranked team in the country. And you said, it's not going to be just about me. It's going to be about my team. What about the effort by the entire team tonight to beat this Oak Hill ball club?
Anybody in this building saw tonight how our guys stepped up. It wasn't about me so much. Pretty much the second half, I kind of took a back seat to these guys. They were pumped. They really had something to prove. My name's out there. Mike Mercer's out there. You hear about those 2 guys, but you don't hear the Delano Howards and the Avery Jukes, Brandon Sims, the Greg Lockett's. So those guys really stepped up big time and just played hard.
I want to ask you real quickly, Lewis, just overall about beating Oak Hill. Has it sunk in, and compared to winning the state championship last year, all the big moments, and where does this one fit in?
It's a big game. It's an accomplishment because of the reputation of Oak Hill Academy. But, it's just another basketball game. Just happy to win it.
Well, Coach, I want to ask you one last thing because you've been on the road with these guys for the last couple of days, and I know everybody's ready to get home and, get back in their own beds, but they got to go to school tomorrow. Just a super effort by these guys, and they got Shiloh tomorrow night, and I know Shiloh is probably home watching this game, and they're going to come out and be gunning for you guys tomorrow night.
Well, tomorrow night there'll be 4,000 people at Shiloh because they saw what we did on TV back home, and they're going to be pumped because we beat the number 1 team in the nation, and they're going to want to turn around and try to put it on us. And we've been out and around and sleeping on buses and doing whatever else, but we'll be ready. These guys have heart every time we play, and we may be a little weary, but our heads are strong and our hearts are big, and we'll be ready to play.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory. Mike, Lewis, the rest of the guys, great job. Greg? All right. Congratulations to the South Gwinnett Comets. A big win. A time for them to celebrate tonight, Jeremy. But it's back to basketball. They got another game tomorrow night. That's pretty amazing.
They got Shiloh tomorrow night. It's a big one. 4 games in 5 days. Oak Hill also has 4 games in 5 days. You can't take away the victory that they just had because Oak Hill, they're a fantastic basketball team, well coached, and the floor bounce. It's the first time I've ever seen an Oak Hill team not really getting back on defense because the offensive barrage that South Gwinnett displayed on them in the second half, it just took the game over. And the fast break, and it finally demoralized the Oak Hill guys. They couldn't stop it late in the second half.
Amazing in this ball game that South Gwinnett actually trailed by 11 points in the first half and came back and won by 14 as Lewis Williams just announced as the MVP for South Gwinnett.
Yeah, he certainly deserved it, but like you said, there were a lot of heroes today. Jukes with all the rebounds in the first half, Mercer with the monster second half. What went on with Delano Howard for about 3 minutes? He took over the game, and they only play 6 deep. Sims had a nice effect too, and the thing that I keep saying to myself is they just beat Oak Hill and they beat them decisively, and I think Oak Hill's just a fantastic team. Totally were the number 1 team in the country prior to this game.
16th win of the season for South Gwinnett. Now they go back to the state of Georgia. They've got their region to play through, their region tournament, then the state tournament as they gun for their second straight 5A state championship in the state of Georgia. If they play like we saw tonight, I'd say there's a very good chance they're going to be back-to-back state champions in the state of Georgia.
I sure wouldn't want to be a high school team or a high school coach, a high school player in Georgia. But on the other hand, you get to play them, you get a shot to beat the best. And right now, South Gwinnett is definitely the best in Georgia.
But I tell you what, there's some teams in the state of Georgia that certainly would like to get their shot at them and will before it's all said and done. Norcross is out there, Wheeler High School out there, all those schools in the Atlanta area, South Cobb, all going to get their shot at South Gwinnett before it's said and done. We'll come back and wrap things up right after this timeout on CSS.
And Camden and Roman just about set to go. Camden 2-2 on the young season. Roman 7-2. Rick, we should mention Camden's gone 3 of the 4 games without their 2 stars. Arthur Barkley's only played 1 game, but in a 53-48 win over West Haven in their most recent game, he had 28 points. Wagner, his first game after that broken knuckle, he said he would not miss this game for anything. Yes, he is in the lineup.
Yes, he is in the lineup, and that's what makes it so exciting that you see a guy who broke his knuckle and to come back to play in such an important game for his team.
That's all he's had. Dewan wearing number 21. He was able to play. The only thing he was having trouble with was catching passes, but watched him today, and he seems ready to go. Roman Catholic again, the big star, Eddie Griffin, 29 points, 12 rebounds, 7 block shots a game. You'll be hearing both Rick and me talk about Tamal Fortune. He averages 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. Here we go. It's Griffin and Arthur Barkley with the jump at center court here at the Apollo. Tap won by Roman, and Brent Welton has the basketball. Camden starting out, man-to-man defense. Coach Glenn Jackson from Camden told me they'd mix up the defenses, and Wagner forces the first turnover, Rick.
That's a big play there because that knocks out some of the nerves that you have right coming back after missing so many games. And I think that was a big defensive stop.
Sure was for Dewan. He already had his hand touch the ball, the bad right hand. Here's Barkley in the paint. Turn around. Got it, Arthur Barkley.
Well, the big thing here is who's matching up with who. And I think Barkley's going to match up with Eddie Griffin, and this is going to be exciting for the people watching the inside game.
Arthur Barkley's been talking about this game for 7 months, guarding Eddie Griffin, and vice versa, Griffin excited. This is Mike Wild. He averages 11 points a game for Roman. Rebound, Dorian Brown, the point guard. Pulliam. Blocked by Fortune, and the rebound comes to Eddie. And here come the Kaolites. The nice defensive stop for them.
Yes, it was. I mean, they got everybody back, and it wasn't a good open shot for Camden.
That's something Griffin does well, shooting threes. You might think he's just an interior player. He made 4 threes in 2 straight games down at Slam Dunk to the Beach last week. So Camden will have to watch out. Brown with the rebound here. 1-3-1. It looks like Roman's starting, but they throw a lot of junk defenses, does Coach Seddon.
And they're going to need to do that when you got Dewan Wagner out there. They're playing a boxing 1 set here to keep the ball out of Dewan's hands.
It's Anthony Miller who's guarding him. Griffin with his first block of Barkley.
He has excellent timing, Jeremy. He can predict when the shot's going up, and he goes up hard.
Fortune, the drive, count it, foul by Pulliam. Tamal Fortune, he's the second star for Roman. A lot of people talk about Griffin. He's having a great start in their 7-2 start.
You see, a lot of people fail to realize that, the hype is for Eddie and also Dewan, and this basket right here is going to show that Fashawn is going to be that player you have to worry, that unsung player that you have to worry about.
Absolutely right. Coach Jackson, Reggie Lawrence, his entire staff talking to me this week, worried about Tamal Fortune. He's a warrior. Barkley at 6'8", has his hands full with Griffin. Who's going to guard Fortune? Here they're showing some press and some pressure. Carmichael gets to Barkley. Rebound comes to Roman. Fortune, again, he averages almost double digits. Eddie always averaging 12.
And the thing is that they're showing him versatility and the defensive possession.
Eddie Griffin, the 10-foot turnaround. Looks like a young Rick Mahorn there, huh?
Oh, no, if he looked like me, I guess he better shoot a layup then.
Eddie's got so many skills, and the fact that he's taking this game outside to add to the inside games, making him a star. Roman by 2.
The best thing about Eddie is that he can intimidate a shot. He doesn't really have to be able to block it.
Interestingly, both teams purple and gold, but tonight Camden wearing the gold, and there's Wagner. Now, had his hand been 100%, he probably would have had the steal and the dunk right there.
I think he's still attempting. He's going to get a steal because he overplays the ball very well, like his father in some aspects, and that's the thing. He has to be aggressive defensively.
Keep in mind, Dewan just 16 years old. Averaged 35 points a game last year. First team All-South Jersey as a freshman and sophomore. Huggins just checking the entry to Griffin. Slam dunk. What do you have to say about that, Mr.
I mean, the young fella's going to put stamp on it right now that, hey, this is how it's going to be in the inside.
There goes Dewan. Huggins for Roman. Fast break the other way, looking for Wild. Overthrow.
A little bit trying to feed the pass. A lot of nervous energy right now. As soon as one team sets in on what they need to get done, it's going to be good.
Let's take a look at the dunk again.
Well, see, the thing is that they tried to high side him, and all he did was just spin to the baseline and throw that dunk on him.
You know, we got the headsets on, so it's less loud for all of us, but you can hear the buzz in this place.
Oh, yes, and that's the excitement about it.
Barkley working hard. He's missed all 4 shots.
Oh, great pass. It was a great pass.
You know, Rick, we didn't really mention in the open, the #1 strength of Wagner's game really is his passing. He's known for his scoring. A lot of the scouts have told me they think his passing is the best part of his game. You saw it right there.
And that's good. You got to have those fundamentals where you can pass the ball.
Huggins the lob to Griffin.
Oh, well, it's going to be a dunk-a-thon right here.
We're getting it on, Rick.
Oh, we're getting it on here, Jeremy.
I told you it was going to be like this.
And you know, the expression on Eddie Griffin's face is that he's just going to play basketball. He's very emotionless, but that lob and the ability for him to get up in the air like that, hey, you can't stop that, or you can't coach it either.
Wagner, high dribble, stop, goes to Brown. That's the 2-guard set for Camden. Roman leads by 4.
The thing, they have to be very patient in their offense and not get absorbed
Watch out,
by
here
this
comes
crowd.
Eddie. Couldn't get that one, Rick.
You can't get everyone, but hey, try is good.
There goes Dewan. Loses that one. Dewan's first try to go coast to coast. Wild's open. He's going to shoot it. Mike Wild's a good shooter, Rick. He scored 13 points in one of the big wins at Slam Dunk at the Beach last week.
That's great. You need to get some kind of control, and right now Roman Catholic has the control of this game.
They also have the lead, 10-4. Now it looks like Roman is switching defenses again. Who's Gordon Wagner? Number 32, Huggins. Shot in the wing by Pulliam, can't go. Now Pulliam, Rick's been their #1 scorer with DeJuan and Arthur back. But right now, Wagner and Barkley become the focal point of the offense. You got 2 guys capable of scoring 60 points.
Yes, you do, and that's the thing. You got to find out which person's going to establish the
And Roman leads 10-4. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.